Miss Pritzl at Appleton West Library, and I am book talking Wrath Becomes Her by Aden Polydoros. This, I have it labeled as horror because that's what it was kind of labeled at by some people, but having read it, I'm going, it's not a real scary story, and I don't think it's going to appeal to most people who like horror. It is historical fiction, but also historical fantasy, and if you're into mythology and folklore, this is a book for you as well. So our main character is actually a golem. A golem is a creature from Jewish folklore and legend, and the golem is created out of clay to protect the Jewish people in times of need. So, and we start out with a snippet of what leads to the creation of Vera, and that is that Haya is part of, that's a girl, Chaya, is part of a resistance group, and they have just derailed a train, and there's some romance between her and Akiva, and all of a sudden shooting goes on, and that's kind of the next chapter starts from the point of view, so it's read from like you're in the mind of Vera, who is a golem, and her creation. So the first couple chapters in this are Vera's creation by Ezra. Ezra is the father of Haya. He's devastated by his daughter's death, but he also wants revenge people. And he has imbued Vera with the purpose. Number one, he's made her so that she can pass as a human, which most golems can't. And he's done that by using some of his daughter's body parts, but like I said, I didn't feel like this was a super scary book. I was fascinated by the whole, I know about golems somewhat, but I got more of the golem mythology and stuff like that. Like one of the things I knew, like golems have truth or emet written on their foreheads, and if you wipe that word out or wipe out the first letter, which changes truth into emet into met, which means death, that's about one of the few ways you can actually kill a golem, is by wiping out that word on their forehead or wiping out just the first letter. So Vera has been created to pass as a human and to avenge the death of Haya and to basically just go protect people against the Nazis. So when she is finally complete and she wakes up in full, because we get her consciousness before she's complete. Ezra, her creator, is gone, and she doesn't know if he's dead or not. So she kind of goes out looking for him, but she runs into Akiva, and because some of Haya's body parts were used, she has memories of that person, so she remembers Akiva from when they were fought in the resistance. We see basically the worst of some of the many horrors of war. We see the Jewish resistance against the Nazis. We see they're living in a part of Europe where the Soviets and the Germans were fighting over places, and so there's Soviets as well, who some people are like the Soviets, some people don't. We see the ghettos in the larger cities. We see the family camps that are living, just barely surviving and living in the forests. So that's the elderly and some of the women and the children who are living in these camps and barely surviving. And we see some of the experiments that the Nazis do. Because it turns out that Vera may not be the only golem out there. Mm-hmm. So I will say that this ends with two pretty good battle scenes. There's some spying that ends in a battle scene, but then there's another battle scene later on. And I really, like I said, I enjoyed this book. I like historical fiction, but I really enjoyed the mythology or folklore of the golem. And it's not a super long book. Around 200, just over 200 pages. So I do recommend this. If you like historical fiction, if you like folklore or mythology, I think this would be a very interesting read for you. But if you're a big horror fan, I don't know if you're going to find, while there are some horrific things in here, I don't think it's really for most horror fans. All right. If this is not your cup of tea, I will help you find something else. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and keep on reading.